Before we begin, take a deep breath. Think about one thing you've always wanted to do, something that could change your life. Now ask yourself, why haven't I done it yet? Chances are the reason isn't money, time, or even your ability. It's a silent fear that whispers inside your head every time you try to step forward. It says, "What will people say?" And that single thought has destroyed more dreams than failure ever did. Today, I'm going to show you how this fear silently controls your life, kills your creativity, and how to break this mental prison forever. But I warn you, this video might make you uncomfortable because you're going to see a truth about yourself that most people never dare to face. Let's start with a story. A young man wanted to start a small business. He had an idea, a vision, and some savings, but when he told his family, they laughed. His relatives said, "Why don't you find a real job?" His friends mocked him. He wanted to prove them wrong, but one question kept echoing: what will people say if I fail? And so he never started. He stayed in his comfort zone, living a life that looked safe but felt empty. This isn't just his story, it's our story. Every day, millions of people bury their dreams alive because they fear the opinions of others. Society has programmed us from childhood to seek approval. We were taught to fit in and don't stand out. As adults, we wear invisible masks, pretending to be what others want us to be. We hide our ideas, silence our truth, and live a version of life that feels safe, but inside, our soul is screaming for freedom. So why do we care so much about what others think? It's not weakness, it's a survival instinct. In ancient times, being accepted by the tribe meant safety. Being rejected meant death. Your brain still works the same way. When someone judges you, your brain reacts as if you're in danger. That's why your heart races and you overthink. The world has changed, but your brain hasn't updated its software. You no longer need society's approval to survive, but emotionally, you still crave it. This is why even smart, talented people stay average. They're emotionally trapped in tribal fear. Think about it. How many times have you stopped yourself because you thought, what if they laugh? What if I look stupid? Each what if slowly builds a cage around your potential. You stop expressing ideas, taking risks, and living. Instead, you start performing for others, living for their opinions and likes. But here's the painful truth. People will always talk. If you do nothing, they'll talk. If you fail, they'll laugh. If you succeed, they'll envy you. So why not live on your own terms anyway? Because whether you rise or fall, they'll talk. Let them. Now, how do you get rid of this fear? First, accept that judgment is inevitable. You cannot control others' opinions. You can only control your focus. Their judgment is their reflection, not your truth. Second, detach your identity from validation. Your value doesn't depend on applause, it depends on your growth. Do what aligns with your purpose, even if no one claps. Third, train your emotional mind. When fear arises, don't suppress it, observe it. Say to yourself, this is fear of judgment. Smile at it, then act anyway. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's movement despite fear. Fourth, limit external noise. Spend less time on social media and more time building your inner voice. The louder your inner voice becomes, the less you care about outside noise. And fifth, surround yourself with doers. When you're around action takers, fear disappears because suddenly your dreams don't look crazy, they look normal. Let me tell you something powerful. Every successful person you admire, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, Oprah, all face the same fear. When Elon said he'd send rockets to space, people laughed. When Jobs said he'd put a computer in every home, people said it's impossible. They all understood one rule of greatness: the crowd only understands you after you succeed, so if they're laughing now, you're probably on the right path. Pause for a second and imagine this: you're 80 years old, looking back at your life. You think about all the things you wanted to do but never did. And then you whisper to yourself, I wish I didn't care what people thought. That regret is one of the most painful feelings a human can experience. But you don't have to wait for that day. You can choose today to stop living for others and start living for yourself. Here's the new belief you must install in your mind. People's opinions don't define me, my actions do. Say it again, write it down. Repeat it daily until it becomes your truth. You can't stop people from talking, but you can stop giving them the power to control you. The moment you stop seeking validation, you become free, you become you. Remember this, the world doesn't remember those who played it safe. It remembers the ones who dared despite fear and judgment. So from today, when that voice whispers, what will people say? Smile and say, let them talk. I'll show them through my actions because your life is yours, not theirs. Your dream is yours, not theirs. Your time is limited. Stop living for their approval. Start living for your purpose. If this video made you think, if it woke something inside you, then promise yourself one thing. From today, you'll take one small action that your fear has been stopping you from doing. And if you're ready to grow mentally and emotionally, hit that subscribe button now. Your journey starts here. Let's grow together.